Hey there, David. Good afternoon, or I should say morning at this point. You say afternoon when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning like me. The moral of the story is don't get old like me either. But I work very closely with Mike Solito, and it does sound like perhaps you'll be visiting with me on Saturday to take a couple look at sort of CX-5 options. Now, just speaking with Mike, he had mentioned that we were perhaps looking into, say, the select or the preferred level. And both of them are great choices, but I will say, even though there's a minor price difference between both trims, there is quite a heavy feature difference between both. So granted, I'm never going to have a secondary career in acting or filming, but I figured by making you a video might be a little bit more helpful to kind of get an understanding of what both trims offer. Now, granted, I have plenty of other color choices in both select and preferred level, but I'm just taking two as an example to kind of go over and highlight some of the things. One is you'll notice on the front of every CX-5, these emblems are fake. And the reason why that they're covered is that is all of the safety housing behind there for many of the sonar systems on board, which then communicate with the camera up on top of the windshield. So do bear in mind that all of the features like collision avoidance, lane keeping assist, the adaptive cruise control, even down to stop and go traffic jam assistance, which allows the ability to the car the ability to drive itself in traffic. That is all going to be standard, even down to things like LED lights, blind spot monitoring system, backup camera, and so forth. Now, visually on the exterior, a select and a preferred, which I'll show the silver one down here, are going to be identical on the exterior. In terms of interior, here's where things will vary a little bit. On the select level, you are going to have a sort of a leatherette and kind of faux suede seat. So this is all going to be kind of a leatherette around, and then this is sort of a faux suede that goes up the center. Heated seats will be standard on both, and you'll have a 6-way power driver seat. It's important to note, so I'm going to asterisk here, 6-way power driver seat and a manual passenger seat. But items like the dual zone climate system, the 11-inch screen up on the dash, all of that is going to be standard, as are going to be many of sort of the electronic features, which would be things like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Even all of these vehicles do have what is called connected services. So there is going to be an app that you download on your smartphone, which will allow you to remote start the vehicle, as well as unlock and lock the car, even check tire pressures. From your phone, of course. Now, obviously, rear ventilation, and these vehicles do have, let me open this up again, 2 USB ports that they hide back here. So at least that way, anybody in the back seat on longer trips have the ability to charge devices. And then moving up into the select level here, you will see kind of these little speakers up there in the pillar. It is because Mazda uses Pioneer, so you are going to have a Pioneer stereo in both vehicles. So to give you an example, again, this is a select. So if we start looking at like the silver one, which is a preferred, you'll see they don't look any different other than, of course, the exterior color. But if you look on paper, the preferred levels are roughly a $1,500 price difference over the select. So to kind of just go over, what am I getting for $1,500? One, right off the bat, if you look up on the roof there, versus the select, you'll see that the preferreds add a sunroof. Another thing is from the interior standpoint, I probably should have unlocked this one before I started filming. So again, live filming is probably not my forte, nor is any filming ever going to be my forte. Interior-wise, you're now going to see that gone is sort of that half leather, half suede. This is all full leather now. This is now an 8-way power seat. Remember that asterisk, it was a 6-way in the select, as well as power lumbar and driver memory systems. I should probably use this finger. I swear I'm not flipping you off. So you will see the memory system, 8-way driver seat with power lumbar, and then the passenger seat now becomes a power seat, where if you recall, it was a manual in the select. Another thing you'll notice is up there on the rearview mirror, you now have an auto-dimming rearview mirror, and you might see those little garage buttons because you do have the HomeLink system, and that will show you the sunroof that is standard. And then lastly, the other thing that is also standard on this is I'm going to hit this button. You're going to see that a power liftgate is also standard on the preferred. So again, just to recap, the $1,500 price difference to go up from the select level into a preferred That $1,500 is getting you the auto-dimming mirror with the HomeLink system, the full leather seats as opposed to the leatherette and suede, the memory seats for the driver, as well as the 8-way seat for the driver versus the 6-way seat, and power lumbar for the driver, as well as a power passenger seat versus a manual passenger seat, a power liftgate, and a sunroof. So it is a pretty heavy, sort of heavy-laden value package, hence the nickname. They used to be called a Touring, and now they're called a Preferred, because it does seem like this is sort of the preferred choice for the CX-5, because now you're getting most features reserved for the higher levels, kind of packed in the mid-trim to make it more competitive for the segment. But I do hope this information helps. I'll also send this out in an email to you so that way you can review among a few other details with our organization. But I appreciate the opportunity, and more importantly, do look forward to meeting you on Saturday. Thank you again.